Rollerdrome, which we're going to jump into here. Now, I've cheated a little bit. I have played a bit of this game. All the other Game of the Year catch-up things I've done, I have not played previously. I have started Rollerdrome. Like I've mentioned, I've been on a bit of a binge to try and catch up on this stuff before Link to the Cast Game of the Year. So forgive me if I did jump the gun a little bit on this one. This game is really awesome. This is a for those of you who don't recall it being shown off at, I think this had a couple of E3 trailers if I recall correctly. This is a sort of a mashup of Tony Hawk and I don't even know what third-person shooter I'd compare it to. Basically a game set, and it's not fucking booting up right now, which is really starting to annoy me. Can anything else go wrong in this last 2 weeks? I don't know what issue it could possibly be having. I was playing it a couple of hours ago before I started building the fucking flat pack that delayed me an hour. Oh lord, what is going on here? Let me just fucking saying abort game, but it's not even reacting when I press any of the buttons. Let's fucking exit the goddamn game. God damn. Did that dodgeball game die a death after the first month? My understanding is yes. I have not heard a soul talk about that game. This isn't fucking working at all, which is great. Let's go home here. Alright. And let's... Okay. Yeah, Knockout City, which is one of the first games I streamed on the regular. I had a lot of fun with it, but... Like, I had a couple of, mutuals, a couple of Twitter pals who were playing it. And I feel like they fell off around the same time I fell off. Do you know what I mean? Which was no particular reason, but it was just kind of like after a month or so, it was kind of like, This is fucking hilarious. I have literally no fucking clue what the issue could be with this fucking thing. Okay. God damn, video games. Can something work? Let's jump into Neon White here real quick. The other game, wait, no. Cancel launch. Okay, it says I'm still fucking running Rollerdrome, which I'm not. Steam Deck, that's the fucking problem. Confirm. Alright. Exiting game. Okay, Rollerdrome. It seems like Rollerdrome specifically is having a fucking bad day at the office here. Okay, if I jump into Neon White, Jenda says do a restart. You may be right. I am right by my Steam Deck here, so I can... God damn, folks. It's maybe Thursday is just a cursed day now. Let's go back to my stupid fucking face here. Oh my fucking god. So Garrett's saying something in the chat that I actually do want to make mention of, and it's a bit of a bummer on the Steam Deck. It seems like the Steam Deck really, 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 really likes to touch the Steam servers. It really likes to do it. So much so that it does not handle anything very well when it's not touching them, right? Which is not great. That is a problem I've noticed, and now I don't know if that's necessarily what the problem was there exactly, but I've kind of noticed, like, so I've talked a lot. This is how we got into the whole Splatoon debacle last week. How the Wi-Fi in this office is terrible. But the dock has an Ethernet cable in it. I'm coming up on 2 years streaming, and it's been a while since I've had a number of issues like this. But anyway, the dock, the deck, the physical console, not the dock. The deck seems to not like it when you're playing a Steam game if it cannot immediately reach a Steam server. And for some reason, that, slows it down from booting. And if you want to, you can skip that, but you have to go into the settings and say, hey, I'm in offline mode. I don't have any means of connection. But I'm not. My connection isn't great, but why do you need to have a strong connection to just jump into a single-player game? you know, modern video games, it's bullshit. I'm not sure if I've talked about this. I think I talked about this on the podcast. I don't think I talked about this on stream. GTA 4 on the Steam Deck. Fabulous game. It's holding up really well. I'm having a ball with it. Great game. Great on the Steam Deck. The fucking Rockstar launcher, right, that you have to sign into to play the game at all. It has a Hitman 2016 style save system where it's effectively always online. So I have Wi-Fi, I'm playing GTA, it's syncing my save with the Rockstar servers. Great. I guess I can pull that save on another device if I want to. Whoop-de-doo. But if I try to boot GTA 4 when I have no Wi-Fi on the Steam Deck, the Rockstar servers go, whoa, 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 whoa. You're offline, pal. You could be doing anything. You could be a pirate. We don't know who you are. So you have to have a separate offline save file for GTA 4, which means if your online save file is 4 hours into the game and then you go offline and it says, oh, you have to have a separate save file. And if you're saying to yourself, does that mean you have to start the game again? Yes, you have to start the game from scratch because there's no backing up your online save file. It's fucking crazy. Like, it's just ridiculous. Anyway, let's fucking. My controller turned off. Today I'm using, by the way, the Nintendo Switch Pro controller, which is a really great controller. I broke a Nintendo dock last week. I'm always slagging the dock off as a cheap piece of shite. Controller's really good. I love the Switch Pro controller. It's probably my second favorite controller behind the PS5 DualSense, whatever they call it. Nintendo, and but like Nintendo first party games, these are super overpriced. Like, they go on sale and they're still like 50 quid, but I would recommend them. And they're Bluetooth and they work with PCs and Steam Decks. Okay, let's try that again. Hey everyone, it's me, your old pal, Barry, and I am live here on Twitch, a popular video streaming website. Let's play popular action shooting game Rollerdrome. Please, let's play Rollerdrome. God, please, let's play fucking Rollerdrome. For the love of Christ. On top of everything else, this is... Hey, it's working! Yes, oh, thank fuck. Oh my god. On top of everything else, this is a really good game, and I'd be really disappointed if it didn't work. Controller recommended. I got a controller. I got no fucking audio, but let me... Why no audio, game? Why no audio? Are you guys getting audio? Let me fucking... Are you guys getting audio? Oh my fucking god, life. No, there's no audio happening. Cool. Okay. Why? Why is there no audio? Oh god, Why is there no audio? Why would they... Let's deactivate the fucking game and it's activated again. That did nothing. Okay, awesome. Down mixed amount? Nothing. Okay, awesome. No, this is great. No, I love this. Oh, I've doubled up my audio now. Don't want to do that. It's times like this, all you can do is laugh, everyone. And brother, I am howling right now. Do I have the... I don't think this is even a thing, but is the Steam Deck? No, the Steam Deck is not muted by any... It's going well. God damn it. Like I said earlier, I have not had these fucking issues in a very long time. Does it make it any less annoying though? Like, why? Why not? Why is there no audio? Motherfucker. Why the fuck is there no fucking audio? Like, I literally do not know what it is. I literally do not know. I am fucking straight out of fucking. I am fucking out of goddamn ideas. No, don't do that. Output. No, the deck. The deck in the dock is right here in front of me, so I can physically reach out and I press the buttons there, and a little volume meter came up at the top of the monitor. The deck has audio, but like you are right, that wouldn't matter when it's outputting anyway. Oh my fucking Jesus! I don't know what I would have done to anger the Lord. I'm not saying no to that. I'm not saying no to that. Well, this is fucking, this is ridiculous. Like, I'm not exactly fucking, I can't even think of a person who would be good at this type of thing. But generally speaking, I've had enough issues over the years where I've been like, oh, this is fucked. Oh, this isn't working. Oh, I accidentally muted this. Oh, this is set to the wrong source. I have no idea. I have literally no idea what the problem is with this. I have absolutely no idea what the problem is here. Like if I go to a different, this wouldn't make any difference. I think it must be something with this motherfucking dock. I'm switching to my various different scenes here on Streamlabs to see, is it possibly like I have, when I made this most recent one, have I not ticked something? But like the Xbox is here. I guess I could plug in the Xbox, see if the Xbox audio works. And that would then confirm to me that it's a Steam Deck dock issue. I can't go back about the Steam Deck dock again. I fucking can't. But also it is working. Like, I don't know. Ah, God. Oh my God. All right. Let's no. All right, hang on. All right, it's Thursday, and this is now the second week in a row. This is now your new regularly occurring feature. Barry tries to troubleshoot something on air. Fuck Roller Drum. I didn't want to fucking play that stupid thing anyway. There's an option here. Forces a low resolution configuration when plugging into an external monitor to improve compatibility? Question mark? Like, will I just do that? I don't think the resolution is the issue, but we will try another motherfucking restart and we will see how it goes. And on that note, hey, it's me again. What's up? How we doing? Oh, Garrett. Biggest disappointment. That's actually a fascinating category. Since the whole purpose of this fucking Game of the Year thing is preparation for Link to the Cast, I will make mention of that one more time. I talked about it yesterday. The lads did tweet out. I believe Dave was in charge of this. The vote, the public poll. So you can go and you can vote, and typically that's the tiebreaker. But now there's 5 of us. We shouldn't need a tiebreaker. But I always find it really interesting anyway, because sometimes we go one direction and the public vote goes the complete fucking opposite direction. So go to Link to the Cast on Twitter, follow them first of all, and second of all, click the survey they put out and submit your responses for Game of the Year. Not only overall Game of the Year, but all the different nominations. And yeah, as Garrett's saying, biggest disappointment, very, very, very stacked category. Let's jump back to the gameplay here, see if I have audio. Oh, my controller is off again. Okay. I still have no fucking... Dude, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, big... Okay. Thank you, Zig, for subscribing. Zig using his Prime sub, which is available to everyone who has Prime, and you can just give it to me. Thank you, Zig. I absolutely could use it. I'm going through it here. At the very least, I heard that alert, which means my laptop sound is working, my Streamlab sound is working. I think it's this fucking dock again, which is really making me really sad. Audio. Okay. Output device. Let's go directly to external device. No, nothing. There wasn't even that many options for audio, actually, if I... no. Am I pressing the wrong button? I think I am. There you go, yeah. Audio. Volume. Nothing. Speakers. Nothing. Speakers would be wrong anyway. I wanna put it in the fucking Alright, there we go. I think double tap gets it up quicker. And I'm really out of ideas because like I've restarted the fucking thing twice. I could plug the dock out. Motherfucking dock, the bane of my existence. Oh, here's another. I also had to troubleshoot another issue here earlier today. This was the this is a controller side issue and not a Steam Deck issue. The Pro controller, which I was just singing the praises of, I hooked it up earlier and I was playing some Roller Drome, funnily enough, and it kept disconnecting like randomly, like after like 5 minutes. I was like, what the fuck? And I was Googling it, and I found Steam Deck specific threads, but I also found a bunch of threads just speaking generally about computers. It's a very specific problem that I guess hasn't been fixed after several years of the Pro controller, which is basically you have to turn off the rumble in the Pro controller because there's some sort of driver issue and some sort of conflict of interest between the devices. And basically, if you have the rumble turned on, it causes the controller to glitch when it's synced up to a computer or similar device, and it causes it to disconnect. So I've already had to troubleshoot that earlier today. Yeah. On the subject of Saints Row, by the way, for best disappointment, I usually check the reviews before I get something, unless it's a franchise I'm absolutely fucking married to, in which case I'll obviously get it. I'll go in blind, you know what I mean? But for Saints Row, the thing about Saints Row is that I liked Saints Row like 11 fucking years. Oh god, even longer. Like 14 years ago. When was 2? 2 I thought was great, and I got kind of bored with 3, and then they did 4 and a bunch of DLC for 4, and then they did Agents of Chaos, which I think a friend of mine gifted me that because he had an extra Steam code, and I haven't booted it up once. I guess I can play it on my Steam Deck, but not on fucking stream. You know, okay, what we're gonna do is, since I'm just chatting about this, I'm gonna go back here to just my stupid face. I'm going to disconnect the Steam Deck from the dock. I'm going to power off the deck for a few minutes. Not restart, but fully power off. And while that is powered off for a few minutes, I'm also going to plug the power out of the dock. Because the instructions that come with the dock actually say to power it off when you're not using it. So we'll chat about fucking whatever the fuck is on your minds, chatters. Whatever is on your fucking mind, we will talk about it while we wait for these things to reset. Obviously, by the time I get this up and working, if I do get it up and working, there's not going to be much time for actually playing games. So I'll try and squeeze in some fucking Roller Drome before we go. But yeah, on the Saints Row thing, it was just kind of like that wasn't even a thing where I was waiting for the reviews to see if I was interested in it. I was kind of like, I'm not interested, and if it happens to win me over with word of mouth, then I'll give it a go. And it did not win me over with word of mouth. Like a lot of people, I am kind of... I can be won around with that open world busy work style of game, because there's nothing wrong with that necessarily. You know, I play most Far Cry games that come out, you know, things like that, but it just seems that particular flavor of it wasn't it. I was just over it, and then this new one just didn't seem to be offering anything meaningful up. I think it served as a good reset. They had to reset from all the superhero shit they did in the last game, but I don't think they took that out. I don't think they put anything meaningful in, unfortunately. Yeah. Did you 100% Valhalla? I mean, like, so my roommate or my ex-roommate, I do not still live with him. He's one of the biggest Assassin's Creed fans I know. And he's also one of those people that when they made the recent switch to Origins and Odyssey, that more kind of melee combat RPG heavy game, he's really fallen off, and it's almost a little disappointing to see. He hates to see someone who loves a franchise become really disenfranchised with it. But he's stuck with them and keeps playing them, but he seems really thoroughly miserable. The other thing is when they switched to Origins was the first one they did where they kind of threw the rule book out and they said, okay, we're changing this. Origins was that one, right? It was like the Egyptian. I actually played that one. I think I still have it there. Where's the PS4 games are there? Origins, I just remember, even by Assassin's Creed standards, up to that point, I remember it just being impossibly large, like piss take large, like piss take number of side quests. I was like. And that's the thing, Ubisoft have been ridiculed for doing that format of a game. I think they should also be ridiculed for they are possibly the worst perpetrators of the everything in games has to always be bigger. The map has to be bigger, the runtime has to be longer, the number of side quests has to be more. You know, Assassin's Creed, it used to be to get a platinum trophy in Assassin's Creed 2 is a 50-hour experience. Now it's 50 hours to just beat the story, and it's 100 hours to get the platinum. Like, they are the nuclear arms race of game size is being led by Ubisoft, in my opinion. You know, literally every icon ticked. That seems mental. That seems fucking mental. Oh my god. I did like what I played of Origins. I'm someone who is very neutral on Assassin's Creed for years, but I've played a lot of them. Valhalla being boring seems like the consensus. Again, from casuals and people I know who are super hardcore into it. It seems like people were just kind of like, I don't know if it's just diminishing returns or what, because I feel like with Origins, Origins was the one where they took a year off, right? And they said, okay, no more of this churning out a yearly game, let's go back to the drawing board. And they did, and they came back with something different, and that was awesome. But now 3 games later, I feel like everyone's already bored again of the new formula. You know, people love Vikings. Are you being facetious, Zig? People love Vikings. They are bloody. And that's one of those cultural things I think you are being facetious, I know, but that is one of those cultural things that has completely passed me by. I haven't watched the TV show Vikings. I haven't played Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'm trying to think, have I played or watched or consumed any kind of Viking thing? Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice is one of my favorite games of last gen, and that is that's Norse actually. Wait, no, Vikings is Norse. I'm making the distinction between the two, but that is correct. Oh, sorry, yeah. Oh, sorry. God of War. I mean, yeah, God of War is God of War went Norse. But I feel like I'm kind of into that for the God of War-ness of it, but it still counts, I guess. Northmen, I was very bored by the Northmen. My main man, the Eggman let me down on that one. I was so fucking bored during that. It's funny because I feel like the Northman is the worst of both worlds, where it's too weird to be enjoyed by general audiences, but it's not weird enough, and it's really boring for the most part for the Eggman fans who followed him from The Witch. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's really obvious that the goal of that movie, to me at least, was kind of like, all right, this guy's really fucking great, but let's see. It's not Ant-Man. I'm not saying it's that level of broad action movie, but I think it's like they said, hey, Rob, can you make something that's a little bit more, box office-y? And he's like, yes, but I want to retain a little bit of that Eggman quality. And they're like, that's a deal, sir. That's a deal. And they tried to split the difference. And I felt like they achieved neither. I felt like it was neither a super compelling blockbuster revenge story, nor was it a really cool, weird, off-the-wall Eggers film. I did not like. I was really, and I liked it slightly more than the fella who I shared a plane back from New York with, who started watching it and then obviously got bored, and he fast forwarded about 20 minutes at a time, would watch one more scene and then fast forward another 3 minutes. I was like, brother, there is no way this is the best way for you to be watching this film. Just tap out and just don't watch it. How are you possibly taking anything in from this film? He was just poking. It was one of those Aer Lingus touchscreen things with the in-flight entertainment, and he was just like, they were in that coming of age, the early trial with the son and Willem Dafoe, and doing their weird howling at the moon stuff, and he just tapped on the screen to fast forward to like the village massacre scene, which he also didn't watch in full. And I was like, if you're this bored, just stop watching it. How are you enhancing the viewing experience? Oh my god, that was bizarre. But yeah, God of War, not North. Fair enough, not Northman. I did not attend the vampire the Viking Raiders wedding. I must have skipped that one. Nosferatu will be good. Although, isn't Nosferatu going through a load of trouble? Like, haven't they keep losing people? You know what I mean? Haven't they had cast members bail on that? I mean, whatever. That probably happens more than we know about. Okay, I'm gonna try and hook this Steam Deck dock back up here. Although I'm having a perfectly fun time just chatting to everyone. As Zig was cheekily alluding to earlier, I am not here next week. Apologies, everyone. Hate to let you down. We'll be back the week after that. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think I'll probably just do a... I mean, I would love to be able to say I'll just do a random Steam Deck stream, but the gods, the various Norse gods, are conspiring against me. Movie of the year podcast, yeah, not bad. Okay, it actually looks like my deck might be doing some kind of update, so hopefully that update will fix this. No, we were just talking about this yesterday. There are basically no good Christmas games. Obviously, your various live service games do Christmas events, but it's all very surface level. I was playing Fortnite earlier, and they have a Christmas thing, but it's kind of like they're doing it like you get a daily login gift, but it's kind of like an emote where the character has a bauble. It's nothing interesting. You know what I mean? And I'm a big Fortnite proponent. I'm a big normie who likes Fortnite, but their Christmas stuff is very much just kind of just. Here are some Christmas icons and emotes. It's nothing mean. Did I ever play Elf Bowling? As in the film property, the Will Ferrell vehicle Elf? Or is that just generic Elf? If you change the date in your PS2, doesn't everything in Simpsons Hit and Run become Christmas themed? Yes, I believe that's correct. I think we actually talked about that when I was playing it, and I just couldn't have been arsed doing it. Partially because by the time that I was finished that fucking game, I was like, no way am I booting this thing up again. Oh, it was a Flash game. It was a Flash game. Okay. There are various projects out there that are like Flash obviously being dead, rest in peace. There are various kind of Flash game archive projects. I think almost every notable Flash game that was ever made is playable still. Because game people are like super serious about archiving and things like that, which is nice. I don't know. I don't think I could get that up on stream, but didn't want to get that. Wait, I usually do that into the mic. Oh, whatever. My brain's not working tonight. I'm trying to think, are there any other Christmassy events or levels? There are multiple Grinch games. I remember playing one on the PS1. I remember it being good. That's definitely wrong. That's definitely wrong. If I was to try it right now, it's definitely not good. Am I seeing Avatar 2? Yes, but probably not until January, which thankfully you know that thing's going to be in cinema for 5 years, so I don't have to worry about missing it. Brona has not seen Avatar 1. So we'll pop that up on the old Disney Plus. They have it in 4K. So she can watch that for the first time, and then we will. I remember from I have not seen it since it came out, actually. I saw it in the cinema. And I remember having the extremely spicy take that it was all right, and that was about it. I thought it was pretty good. And then I moved on. Yeah, I mean, I'm just not one of these people who's like I love, like, it's just really tough because it's like James Cameron is one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. I think that's fair to say. You know, one of the most successful, but also who has contributed really fucking cool, great things, timeless classics. Cinema, that's great. And I think Brad on Nextlander said it recently. I might be, or maybe someone else on that show did. I can't remember. I might be misattributing it, but it's just really weird to me that he decided at a certain point, a decade or so ago, he was like, you know what? I'm just going to do Avatar things for the rest of my life. My insanely talented life. He made that first one. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to do this because it's so cool. Look, maybe I'll have an apparition or a fucking, not an apparition. That's not what I'm thinking of. Maybe I'll have an epiphany. Rewatching this first one, but this whole thing where people are like, oh my god, blockbuster cinema is back because James Cameron's finally putting out Avatar 2. I'm like, Avatar to me was like Raimi's Drag Me to Hell. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it wasn't bad, but you kind of looked at it and you went, Sam, this ain't classic Raimi. It's good. I'll watch it again. But this ain't Evil Dead, brother. This ain't Spider-Man 2. And that was Avatar to me for James Cameron. I was like, it's not bad, but brother, you know, it ain't T2. It ain't which aliens did he do? It ain't Aliens, you know? I mean, I can totally agree with this idea that his shit blows away the slop we usually watch in blockbusters, but that alone doesn't make me excited to see it. Do you know what I mean? Plus, I've already had that moment this year with Top Gun. Do you know what I mean? Although, hey, maybe I might prove myself wrong because I also wasn't super excited for Top Gun because I think Top Gun 1 is extremely overrated and not that good. It's like it's largely sort of ironic chuckling at how you know like weirdly sexual it is. But for the most part, you actually sit away from the highlight reel and the GIFs. The original Top Gun is really fucking boring for the most part. And then I went and saw Maverick, and it was incredible. So maybe I'll come out of Avatar 2 going, Jim, he saved it. Jim has saved cinema. Thank you, Jim. We love you, Jim. But yeah, I'm trying to catch up here in the chat. Yeah, the Top Gun trailer was inescapable. That also didn't help. And I actually feel the Avatar one has not been as overbearing, but also I haven't been to the cinema much in the last few weeks. Yeah, the length. I think the length of time will help Avatar 2 because it's like this guy who is one of the greatest directors ever has been working on this for a decade, and he will not let it die. And plus, the studio won't let it die because it's the. What is it? Did it overtake Avengers again to become one when they re-released it, or it's either the first or second biggest film ever? So you knew he's allowed to work on it for a decade if he wants. Look, the thing about the action, and I reserve the right to come on here in 2 or 3 weeks. We'll probably rewatch it after Christmas, I think, because our schedules are crazy for the next 2 weeks. I reserve the right to come on here in a few weeks and say, you know what, Avatar 1 is awesome on a rewatch. I love it. But my thing about it was kind of like, there's no way I can make this comparison and it won't disgust you. It looked better, but a lot of the action in Avatar to me just felt very Star Wars prequely. I was just kind of like, I was like, there's 10 million things exploding and lasers and arrows and this guy's screaming and the camera's swooping and I'm like, do you know what I mean? Like, among the many problems with the Star Wars prequels is that in certain parts they are not ambitious enough, and then for some of the CGI action starship battles they are like over ambitious and you're getting a headache from watching it. Avatar, like, it looked better than that stuff, but I was still kind of looking at it just go, this is just, you know what I mean? Do you like that noise I made? That is a cunty thing. That is a cunty thing. And I generally agree that certain films need to be seen in the cinema, but I have a very nice TV. Okay? I have a very nice TV. I will watch Avatar 2 in the cinema, and I saw Avatar 1 in the cinema. I will rewatch Avatar 1 at home because I remember when they did that re-release, I couldn't have given it. Like I said, I came out of the first one going, that was alright. I did not give enough of a fuck to go rewatch it. But I've seen the first one in the cinema, and these are the takes I have, and I will watch the second one in the cinema, and we'll see. The Steam Deck is back online, by the way. Let me just fucking turn on this fucking remote. Oh god. No audio. Okay. Like, if I just go into something randomly here. No. Alright. Well, that's a bummer. Like, I don't fucking know. I can't even, like, it's coming up to 10 p.m. I cannot be arsed trying to troubleshoot that. This is going to be one of those things where I'm going to turn this stream off and I'm going to pull the HDMI cable out and plug it back in, and then it'll just work. It's gonna, because this has happened to me before. I will pull one wire out and plug it back in, and it'll just work, and I'm gonna be so annoyed. This is the second week in a row. Oh my god! I just yesterday had to talk on stream, and I had to, because of the YouTube. If you watch on YouTube, you don't fucking clue. So I had to explain on yesterday's stream why last Thursday there was no VOD. I'm not uploading this shit. This is fucking unwatchable garbage. Worse than usual. Worse than usual. We're having fun. It's fun to watch live, but what people on YouTube gonna watch me talk to all of you for fucking an hour? Maybe it's a good advertisement for, hey guys, YouTube's great and all, but twitch.tv/barrylad, you can be part of the show. Oh my god, it's been so long since I've had this many technical issues. Back to my stupid face. What's the chat saying? Wait, Snowboy. There is a lot of projection going on in your statement here. People were met on Avatar when it came out. They were not. This is not a new narrative that it's mediocre that's developed in the last couple of years. This was extremely divisive when it came out because it was extremely popular and very well reviewed. But there was plenty of dissenters who were saying, it's just another CGI this, it's just another that. As Ing says in the chat, it's just Pocahontas. I don't really agree with that. I think it's fine to redo classic stories in a modern sense. I don't care that it's just Pocahontas. That's fine by me. It's not new. If anything, the film Twitter, James Cameron's going to save us all, and Avatar is actually based. That is the relitigation. That's the new narrative. If we're gonna get into why conversations have been shaped a certain way in the last couple of years, it's not people regressing on Avatar because they watched it at home. It's people becoming more positive on it because the overall cinema landscape has gotten worse. That's, to me, that's the way it's gone. My Xbox is in the room. I can do some Xbox before we go, so I can say there's some fucking gameplay on this. I don't believe it won Best Picture. No, I think the biggest. Has a proper blockbuster won Best Picture since Lord of the Rings? I don't think they have. And I know proper blockbuster is a term you can debate, but you guys know what I'm saying. But yeah, I think yeah, I think Zig is saying the same thing as me, which is, and it's just funny because I don't necessarily disagree with the idea that Cameron, and like I said, I didn't hate Avatar. I don't disagree with this idea that Cameron and Avatar are better than a lot of the slop. I think my main disagreement is I just don't think it is as better or to the degree that a lot of people do. And I'm also kind of bored of this conversation, and this is a very this is excessively online thing that I shouldn't care about, but I do. And this was like an extremely annoying, lengthy part of a Chapo episode where they talked about it. We're talking about how cool it was because it was anti-imperialist. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So is Star Wars Episode 1. That movie fucking stinks, okay? Way to go, George. You spent a huge amount of money making a big fuck you to American imperialism. That's cool. I still think it's one of the worst blockbusters ever. You know, there's an awful lot of he's so cool because he's like, you know, he's spending the biggest film budget of all time making a movie about how American imperialism is bad. And I just don't care about that. Not that I don't think it's not cool to do that, but again, this whole thing of I'm champing at the bit, I'm biting my nails. I pre-booked 17 tickets so I can watch in the theater with nobody around me annoying me because he's making a movie about how America is actually their war machine. It's bad. I'm not swayed by that at all. You know, I am not siding with the Americans. I can assure you, I'm not. Get them out of here, is what I say. Get them out of Pandora. That's the name of the planet, right? You know, it's just very, you know, very letterboxed, if you know what I mean. I would love to be Giovanni Ribisi. He seems like he's a wonderful actor, and I would love to be him. I could have been in Friends. I did not see the trailer for 65. I don't know anything about it other than everyone was like, you should see the fucking trailer for 65. Oh my god. I didn't see it. I know Adam Driver's in it. But yeah, I mean, to go back to how this conversation started, I will be seeing Avatar 2. Not before Christmas. And I'll probably have a better experience actually not seeing it before Christmas because I imagine the crowd will be crazy because it's gonna do gangbusters. Obviously, it's going to eat up. I'm really curious if it does beat. I was about to say Avengers, but so when they re-released Avatar 1, did it overtake Avengers again? I don't recall if it did or didn't. Also, it's funny, Snowboy, now that you say the name Jake Sully in the chat, I'm like, here's another criticism I have of Avatar. If you put a fucking space Navi crossbow gun to my head right now and said, motherfucker, describe the character of Jake Sully right fucking now or I'll blow your brains out. This stream would get TOS'd and pulled off Twitch because I would be murdered on it. Like who? Like you asked me. I remember they had a really great heel in that movie. Really fucking stereotypical square-headed fucking arsehole general. And I know Giovanni Ribisi is in it as he's a tech guy of some description. But you asked me to talk about the characters in that movie. I know the I know the name Jake Sully, and that's it. You know. It's not Mr. Plinkett shit. It's not Mr. Plinkett shit. You're talking about a fucking movie. You're talking about a storytelling medium. Don't come in here with this fucking... Don't do this fucking shit of actually it doesn't matter. Come on, Snowboy. Let's not fucking do that. I'm not saying that you have to fucking know or care about every single protagonist, because you fucking don't. There's plenty of movies where you don't. I am just saying, for the level of fanfare about this movie, um, you know, I just like, we're talking about this fucking saving the fucking future of cinema, and I don't know anything about the main character, and I saw the movie of the most successful movie of all time. That's fine. He's not. He's an audience POV. That's fine. But I couldn't tell you anything he fucking says or does in the movie. You know, I can't remember if he was eager to go into Blue Land or he was made to do it. I don't remember any of that. I don't remember who the actor is. I don't know who plays Jake Sully. I don't know any of that. The real barometer for success is whether I remember. No, I am being facetious. Thank you, Garrett. You know, I was actually about to say, because I don't think the others have played any Rumbleverse at all, and I'm very mad. I'm very mad. Because I don't know if it's winning too much, but I want to talk about Rumbleverse. It's fucking great. We streamed some Rumbleverse on this channel, and it was a blast. Rumbleverse is great, and like any Battle Royale game, it gets an extra 2 points on the rating out of 10 when you win, because you feel like a god. I'm gonna turn off this fucking Steam because we're not playing this fucking thing. Yeah, I think I mentioned on stream, I don't know what their bot situation is. I have to imagine they have some. You know, it's an industry of follow the leader, and Fortnite has bots, and most people talk about how great it is. Again, I was just listening to Nextlander, and Brad was saying that Brad played it to played Fortnite to check out the Unreal 5.1 stuff, which, side note, is really cool. It is a very nice looking cartoon game now, and he was saying he in his first game he got a win because it's bots. You know, doesn't take anything from it. The serotonin hits all the same. Put bots in your game. Great! I hope I never play against a person. I can just win. But yeah, Rumbleverse is great crack. I wanna get back to it. So boy, I will watch this movie, and I'll come back here on stream, and I will give you my sincere and honest thoughts on it. Please, I hope you can respect my takes, even though I'm just watching it on a 55-inch 4K TV. I know it's not the cinema, but I will watch it, and Disney does have it in 4K as well, so I will do my best to appreciate it. And I got that bullshit light on my TV, so when they're in Blue World, it'll be blue all over my walls. It'll look great. And we will come back on here in January, and we will talk about Avatar 2. Avatar 2 spoiler cast, just me in the chat. I'll Discord you in, Snowboy, and we can have it out. Although, like, I'm not even expecting to dislike it. I'm just like, my main point to go back to the very beginning was that I am not swept up in this, you know, Cameron's gonna save us thing. I like a lot of people. I just find it so odd that Avatar was the thing he said, this is what I'm doing. I hate to be morbid, but this is what I'm doing until I kick the bucket. He's basically said. Do you know what I mean? I will absolutely not agree to blue facing on stream if I like it, because I think there's a good chance I will like it. I have not disliked the James Cameron film. I like most kids, because it was sappy. I hated Titanic growing up, and then I rewatched it, and I'm like, Titanic's really good. Like, let's be fair, it's really fucking good. I did call Amber Light a shit light, but I was being dismissive. But it is actually really cool. It is really cool. It is really cool. Is there any new stuff with Unreal 5.1? Yes. So it's basically all just, it's the type of thing that hasn't really impressed me so far in current / next gen games, which is just like realistic lighting, which I have been so not impressed with at all in any game. It's like, I remember when they put out the Ultimate Edition of Control, one of my favorite games of the last 10 years, I'd say. And your options were ray tracing mode or 60 frames per second mode. And I put the ray tracing on, and I went, All right. I mean, it looks cool, but if it's that or 60 frames, I'm taking the frames, brother. I mean, it is a very nice looking reflection. It is a very nice looking reflection in this game where I'm flinging office chairs through windows constantly. Like, I'm not stopping to look, you know? It was the same with Miles Morales PS5. It's like, that game looks great when you put it in image quality mode or fidelity or whatever they call it. But you know what looks even better? When it's running at 60 frames per second. But I will say that my catch-all technical Digital Foundry term I'm going to use, all the lighting bullshit they do in Fortnite now, it fucking looks really good. It looks really, really good. It's all kind of like, it's kind of about like dispersal and stuff like that. So it's more about kind of more natural shadows and things like that, and also just like the texture. So I can't remember what the term they use for it is. It's lumen is the lighting tech. I can't remember what they call their fucking texture quality. But basically, kind of like every surface on the map now has like unique. I could not be a graphics analysis like for Digital Foundry or any site like that. I'd be so fucking bad. But basically, in lieu of like flat textures, like you can like go up and see like every individual slate on a roof, things like that, and they have three-dimensional texture rather than a flat image on a, it's that kind of thing. And I assume, knowing fucking nothing about game dev, I assume what comes with this tech is that you don't have to manually do each individual tile by hand. I don't know. But it looks great. I've like, for a cartoony game that is not going for hyper realism, and this is also true of Minecraft. If you've never seen Minecraft ray tracing, just pop that into YouTube and take a look at it. It's crazy. And Fortnite looks amazing too. There's something about those cartoony animated styles that really convey like bleeding edge graphics tech better than something like God of War, which obviously looks great. But it's kind of like when you flip the ray tracing switch on something like God of War, just kind of look at it and go, it looked really nice before. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see what people do with ray tracing other than just. I remember, like, I mentioned the Control Ultimate Edition. They put out a 20-second trailer for that, and it was literally like just Jessie looking in a window, and you could see her reflection in it. And then they went into the settings and they turned on the 60 FPS mode. Oh no, sorry, it was the other way around. Sorry, they were moving their camera around the screen, and it was moving nice buttery smooth 60. And then it stops on a window, and then they went into settings and turned ray tracing on, and then you saw like a perfect 1-to-1 image in the window. I'm like, that's super cool, but I'm not stopping to just look in the fucking window in this game. Like, do you know what I mean? It is one of those things that I've tried it in multiple games where it's been an option, because I've got the new consoles. Like, I want to see it. Like, let's take a look at what it is, but I've not. Doesn't do much for me. Fortnite, it's so funny to say, but Fortnite is the first one where I've booted it up and went, oh, this looks class. This does look class. Also, the interesting thing about Fortnite is that stuff is just on. Like, you don't pick anything. The game now, it's only Xbox S, X, and PS5 and high-end PCs. It's not on. They upgraded the Switch version to Unreal 5, but with none of that shit. So it's purely a technicality. But Fortnite now has a 120 frame per second mode, which it's had for like a year. But that's either on or off, and if you turn it off, you just get all the stuff. You don't have to. It's not you have to pick ray tracing mode, and that busts you down to 30 frames per second, which in a competitive game, if you're playing at 30 and everyone else is playing at 60, you're fucked. I mean, that's not, you're not going to get very far on that. But yeah, it's literally just, if you don't want to play in 120 frames, which is very specific and only certain TVs do it and so on and so forth, you just get all that stuff. You don't have to do a special mode. You don't have to go into the settings. It's just on, and it looks really good. What would you say about watching Last of Us without playing it? Wait, is that to me or is that someone in the chat? Are you looking forward to any games set for release in 23 other than Zelda? I'm not even that big. I'm not a big Zelda guy. I liked Breath of the Wild, but I didn't finish it, and I have not played any of the other ones. So I was talking to a friend recently about doing some Zelda on stream, because that's a massive hole in my back catalog. Other games, I want the AEW game. I'm really legitimately excited about it. Warts and all, and misgivings about the various mistakes they've made. I'm looking forward to that. They're saying Spider-Man 2 is next year, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Unless it's like a holiday game and it's coming out at the absolute tail end of next year. I don't see it. Like Miles Morales was just 2 years ago. I'd be shocked. So I guess technically that's a 23 game, but I don't actually see it. That Bond game coming out next year. I don't know. I feel like every time they talk about it, they're just hiring people. Like they've put out a billion hiring notices for Bond. That they being IO. I don't know. They have not said a peep about it beyond just that they're doing it. I would have to imagine that it's not next year. Especially since they just put out a Hitman map this year. Now obviously presumably they've scaled up their operations, but I'm super excited for that. If we're calling that a 23 game, then that might be number one. I've got some old school James Bond games, PS2 era stuff I want to get to on this channel at some point. Because when a James Bond game hits, great. I'm curious about that GoldenEye stuff. Kind of hard to keep track of, but if I recall correctly, essentially the original version of GoldenEye is going to switch online with online multiplayer, and the remaster with all the new textures and the new animations and the redone audio and all that stuff, that's going to Xbox, but that doesn't have online multiplayer, which is fucking crazy to me. But I am curious to see it anyway. I'm sure the Xbox remaster will have the old a lot of games like that kind of have the classic controls or modern controls. I imagine the Switch one will just have classic controls, and let me tell you, I played some GoldenEye on the Steam Deck recently. First person shooters on the on the N64 have aged horribly. One stick to direct yourself, no. I mean, incredible at the time. God knows how many hours me and my friends put into it, but I hope that Switch version gives you a 2 joystick option. Do you know what I mean? Look with the right stick, move with the left. Because if they do old school N64, left stick does what the stick on the N64 did, and you have to figure out the rest. That's going to be horrible. And it's going to be, it's like we were talking about with Simpsons Hit and Run. That's going to be a wake up call for people who've been pining for this game to be available again. It's like, you play GoldenEye with those original controls, you're not going to have a fun time, in my opinion. Zeke, I'm still on you. Sorry, your Last of Us question. Are you saying, like, are you asking about the TV show, or like, do you want to just watch it on YouTube to get the gist of the story before the TV show comes out? To be fair, I think you probably could do that. It's not. Although I would say if you haven't played, I would just not watch. I wouldn't watch it on YouTube. I would just wait and watch the show. I would just wait for the show. Because from all the trailers they've shown, you will get your standard amount of additional new characters, just like Game of Thrones or any comic book thing. It's like, okay, here's a new character we've invented to pad things out. But from the trailers, it looks like they are going super close source material. Now, we won't know for the real thing, but I would say don't watch anything, don't catch up on anything, because I think it'd be more fun to just watch the show, and then if you like it or don't like it, or if you're in the middle about it, then you can finish season 1 and then go back and do that stuff and say, oh, I think I preferred this or I preferred that. No, I think there's a couple of like really surprising things over the course of that story that if you're going in cold on the TV show, great. That stuff will catch you off guard and it'll be great. Yeah, I would avoid spoiling that for yourself. I don't know how to feel about Starfield. One of those Bethesda games are those things I'm super neutral on. I've put 10 hours into every Bethesda game and I've enjoyed them and then gotten bored. I with the exception of like New Vegas, which I've talked about before, I will do New Vegas on stream at some point. Garrett says they did turn Miles Morales around shockingly fast. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, 2018 to 2020. That's true. And that there was a system jump in there as well. That was on PS5. So yeah, maybe they will. I would love if Spider-Man 2 was this year. People seem to be assuming the whole first season will be the first game story, but I don't know. That's impossible to tell. Like I said, they've straight up said here are like 3 actors playing new characters who are not in the game. You don't know how long they're going to pad that stuff out. It's really hard to say because like, and it's also funny people saying, "Oh, I wonder will they do Last of Us Part 2 for Season 2?" I was like, well, Bella Ramsey would have to grow like 3 foot tall and age about because she looks super. She's like, I think she's 19, but she like is completely believable as like a 13-year-old or whatever she's supposed to be in the show. And in the events of Last of Us 2, she'd have to pass for a 20-year-old, which I really don't think she does. So I think we're gonna, similar to kind of like Preacher, which was not a great TV show, but it was okay. I think they'll probably start somewhat source material-y, and then they'll probably just go off in their own direction. I don't think they'll follow season. I don't think they'll follow the 1 season 1 game format. Although the second trailer they just put out last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever, most of the beats are in there. Most of the game beats are in there. Obviously, in fucking, if you want to be a nerdy fucking freeze frame and analyze where this might be, which obviously, most of the beats of the first game look like they're in there. So I don't know. It's from what they've put out, and again, this could all be very intentional marketing. From what they've put out, it looks like they're going super close to the source material. But I don't think it would be viable to do a game is a season, because the time jump in the second game just I don't think would be feasible with the cast. Yeah, I mean, and this is one of those things where it's funny because the first game I would kind of say, yeah, you can do a TV show. It's not to diminish the gameplay of the first Last of Us, but you can do a TV show and get the point across. The second one, I think, is kind of a thing you need to play. And the second, if they do the events of the second game in a season or seasons of television show, they'll have to take some serious liberties with the pacing and the format, and maybe cut some things and swap things around, because it's just kind of like, see, like someone I think it was Girlfriend Reviews on YouTube, which they did a great Last of Us video, and it's only about like 12 minutes long. They put a graph on screen once of the timelines in Last of Us 2, and it is mental. It is absolutely mental. It's 2 concurrent timelines with flashbacks punctuating every act of each timeline. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's kind of like, this would be, I don't know, maybe people would like it because it would be so, like, it would be extremely off the wall for an extremely high budget HBO project to go so wild with the timeline. That second game is really bizarrely paced in a really like admirable way. What is this? Lost, says Zig. Okay, without getting into spoiler territory, the second Last of Us game has a prologue, and then the main event, and then the main events of the game are split into 2 timelines. It's really fucking hard to explain. Oh, sorry, you were doing a joke. What is this? What is this? Lost, the television show? Sorry, I thought you were saying, what is this? I am lost. Okay. I have never seen Lost. It was one of those ones where it was really ubiquitous, and I think I was kind of put off by that. I don't know why. And then it's one of those shows. I think I've talked about this on stream before, where it's just kind of like picking up on conversations about it through osmosis. It seemed like people were frustrated with it, and it was like, oh, it's not super consistent. It's up and down, and then the whole ending controversy, and people hated it and loved it, and were in the middle about it. I don't know. It seemed kind of exhausting, keeping up with it. But you know what? Maybe now that we're years and years removed from all that stuff, and I can just watch it removed from all of that, I feel like I'd probably like it. It looks like my kind of thing. Yeah, Lost was super influential. I mean, even not having seen it, it's there's a lot of shows you can point to that probably don't exist if not for that. And it was also insanely popular. There's a Lost video game. I can play that on stream, not on Steam Deck, obviously. No fucking audio. Alrighty, hang on. Let me fucking. Look at this. I don't know why I'm still messing with this fucking dock. Like, who gives a shit? Fucked Barry. Alright, we got back in there. Oh yeah, I assumed I'd have to know the show to get anything from the game. Mitch actually in the chat did tweet me during the week and say I should play the Shield game, which I would love to do. But I haven't finished The Sopranos and I haven't finished The Shield, and they are both my great shame. I got no excuse. I started them both, liked them both, haven't finished either. You know, but you know, I'm good to go. See, now that I have my shelving units behind me, I can just, yeah, there he is. Oh, look at that. Oh yeah. I think I got this in like a HMV closing down. So this was like 20 quid or something for the whole show. But yeah, I would like to play The Shield, and I'll play and if I can watch The Shield and then watch The Sopranos, I'll play both games on stream. As a big 24 head when I was a teenager, being a teenager is the perfect age to watch that show. Don't go back to it now. It's a teenager's idea of cool. I did play the 24 game. I could not wait for that game to come out, and it's another one you can file under. Thought it was class at the time, probably not, but. It tried some. It is not just a generic third-person shooter. They tried some stuff in that game. I tell you what's probably aged badly in the 24 game, folks, is the kind of the torture mini games where you're a federal agent trying to get information out of people, and you're doing mini games to get their heart rate up so they give you information. Oh, I wonder how that's held up. I'll take a look at that for sure at some stage. Yeah, we need to jump back on the Twin Peaks trail. Obviously, we're just kind of watching Christmas shite at the moment. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. We're 4 episodes in or something. I'm enjoying it. On Paramount. Someone a good pal sent me over the I can't remember the name of it because I'm new to Twin Peaks lore, but he sent me over the full extended version of Fire Walk with me. So I have that ready to watch. You know, whenever. What's that, after season 2, I guess? Yeah. Yeah, the GTA 5 torture stuff was so kind of basically all the Trevor stuff in that game was just so exhausting. I've talked before on stream about GTA 5. I mean, that was just that game. I was just at critical mass with Rockstar's everything. I was just like, the shooting really isn't good enough in these games, and I'm so bored of your comedy, and I'm bored of your fucking nihilism fucking overdose. Like, I get it. Everything sucks. Americans are fat. Everyone kills each other. Brother, sing a different song. Oh my god. I mean, and like, it was so like not the newsworthy thing coming out of the leaks for GTA 6. But when those leaks came out and I looked at the gameplay and I looked at the general tone of the thing, I was like, this looks like another fucking one of these. I just do not give a shit about another one of these fucking things. But I mean, I'll play it obviously because I'm not going to not play GTA. There's some when you're a gamer of my age, and this is true of a lot of you in the chat. if you were around for that generational jump from GTA 2 to 3, and GTA 3 shaping the fucking industry after it, you now have a built-in Pavlov dog fucking instinct. You just gotta play GTA when it comes out. You can't not play, or even just a Rockstar thing in general. You just gotta do it. The Evil President season of 24 is I mean, 24 was great twisty television. That season is mental. And great performances. I mean, they did have a legitimately great cast. Wait, Snowboy says watch the regular Firewalk with me, then watch the Missing People. Oh my god. I don't know. I don't know who to shoot. Played the story twice. I mean, I suppose I didn't finish it multiple times, but I've booted that game up. I don't know how many times. I played it to completion on PS3. I paid full price for the fucking... Even though I didn't like it, I paid full price for the PS4 re-release. So fucking stupid. Oh my god. And then I got about 12-ish hours into it on PS4, and I was like, eh. Yeah, it's this game I didn't super love the first time. I did not buy the PS5 re-release, I will say that. I drew the line there. But I did when the Epic Games Store were doing their they included GTA 5 in their free game giveaway, which is mental, by the way. Some like if you don't have an Epic Store account, get one. And I don't care if you don't plan to buy a PC for the next 10 fucking years. Just get one and grab their free games. Excuse me, whenever they do them. Because, like, obviously, so there's a program you can put on the Steam Deck that lets you get your Epic library on Steam Deck. So, like, I've got, like, dozens and dozens of PC games in addition to my Steam library. Because Epic, when they were trying to establish themselves in the marketplace, they were just putting GTA 5 up for free and going crazy. So when they did that on my not great laptop, I was still able to run it and get it going at about 60-ish frames. I was like, this is pretty cool. Again, 6, 7, 8 hours, and I was like, still GTA 5, you know. The heists are still good, yeah. I mean, I hope the new game has a bit more of an emphasis on that. Yeah, they're doing 12 Days of Christmas again, which I'm interested in. One of the things Epic put up for free recently, which I was hoping would show up on Game Pass or PlayStation Plus, and it never did, the Evil Dead game, which got, like, okay reviews, but not strong enough for me to bother grabbing a copy. But Epic put it up free, so I grabbed it on their store, and I must check its deck compatibility because I'm very curious about it. It did come out, and it seems to, as all of these little horror multiplayer things like the Friday the 13th game, which was janky but good, it seems to have a nice little cult following, but it doesn't seem like it didn't set the world on fire. Do you know what I mean? It had a very quiet launch. Do you know what I mean? I'm not sure if they sent review copies out or if people just didn't review it because it's a multiplayer game and they didn't want to or what. But I remember the day it launched, I saw it was out and I was like, oh, where are the reviews? And there was none, and they slowly started trickling out, and it seems all right. It seems well reviewed. You know, they are doing free content updates. They put the 2013 characters in there, I believe. So I want to see if that's compatible with the deck. I will give it a spin and see what it is, because I'm interested in it. You know, I gave that Friday the 13th game a spin. But it was, I mean, I gave it a spin when it was freshly out, and it was busted as fuck. That was one of the more busted games I've kind of played, and it was one of those experiences where they were working on it and they were tweeting and saying, "Hey, big patch, please go update your console, update your game," and you download the big patch and it would be like slightly better, but it was still not working, and it was cool. It was a cool idea. It also had that problem that all these fucking games have, whether it's Evolve or the Predator one or Friday the 13th, which is you have a certain amount of people that when they get into the game and they realize, oh, I'm not playing as the cool character, I'm not playing as Jason, they just quit. and so the game is then odd numbered and stuff. Painful, absolutely painful. Okay, Mitch has confirmed the one bad thing I was assuming about Evil Dead, which is the anti-cheat kills it on deck, which is a pain. Before I got my deck, I Jeff Gersman got one, obviously being press, and he was talking about it, and he was constantly talking about that. He said he had Rumble versus an Epic exclusive, so he jumped through the hoops to get the Epic games on the Steam Deck, and then the game was still fucked. And apparently the reason it was fucked is because there's a bit of a widespread issue with multiplayer games on deck where anti-cheat software just no bueno on the deck. Call of Duty fucked on Steam Deck. The most recent one, I don't know if they fixed it. They've said they're trying to fix it. I don't know if they are. Because it's just all these devs when it comes to multiplayer games are still, and I get it because there's like massive hacking problems on Call of Duty specifically, so they're clutching to this anti-cheat stuff for dear life. But like Call of Duty, Rumbleverse, and I guess Evil Dead just don't work on things like the Steam Deck because it's just something about, I don't know if it's because it's Linux or because it's mobile or because it's portable or what it is, but yeah, it's a shame. So yeah, I meant to check it on Proton. I haven't installed it yet for that exact reason because I wanted to look it up. But as a rule of thumb for myself, my kind of thing is just kind of I haven't even really looked at very many multiplayer games for that exact reason, because it just seems like they are not, unless it's co-op. Co-op obviously is fine. Anything competitive, it seems like the anti-cheat makes it not viable on the Steam Deck at the moment, which is a shame. Yeah, Among Us was the same. And it's like I understand that the imposter is the fun role in that game, but there's two things about when the Among Us craze hit. There were two things about it I didn't understand: people quitting when they didn't get imposter, and people hacking, right? And with both of those things, I just want to say this is not Call of Duty where you're trying to rank up to get special items. The point of the game is to talk and argue and get into wacky social situations where you have to accuse your friend and meet strangers online. Oh, you're the imposter. No, you are. What I never understood, and there was such a bad problem with it. You'd get into an Among Us game with randos, and one of them would be hacking, and he's clipping through the walls, and he's killing everyone in the game's play. I'm like, what are you getting out of that? Likewise, quitting if you're not the imposter. It's like, okay, it is the more fun role, but buddy, half the fun is you go and you have the argument, you have the debate about who is or isn't. People are so fucking weird, man. I just don't. Any multiplayer game at all, people have to cheat. They have to fucking cheat. It doesn't matter how pointless it is. It doesn't matter how much it fucks the game. If they, so long as they win, I've never understood that. I have never understood that. I would love to do an Among Us stream, and I would love to do Among Us VR. It's not on the Quest that I own, which is a piece of shit. And I would love to do the VR thing. I don't see a VR headset in my future unless the reviews for the PSVR 2 are crazy. I'm not anticipating they're going to be. I don't see what it. I like VR, but it's just one of those things where it's just a bunch of bullshit usually associated with. First of all, it's super expensive. The PS VR 2 is going to cost the same as a PS5. Crazy. Understandable, because it's like a 4K resolution between, it's like 2K and 2K. It's a really high quality screens. It's wireless except one wire into the PS5. So they put a lot of work into it to improve it from the PSVR 1. 500 quid again? 500 quid again on top of the cost of the PS5? And then it's like the PS5 has and the Xbox, they both have a kind of a exclusive title drought. And now there's going to be a bunch of PSVR 2 games where it's like, okay, that's good, but I have to pay 500 quid to play them. And also, the age of the bundle seems to be really dead, because they haven't announced any. I think they've announced a bundle where you get Horizon, but it's effectively the cost of the game added to the VR. It's not a bundle. Do you know what I mean? So I would love to do an Among Us stream. We'll do one at some stage, and we'll it'll be non VR, but we'll do one. Yeah, I mean, I think VR is here to stay. Speaking extremely broadly, I think it's here to stay. I think it's carved out a nice niche for itself, where, and that's the word to use. It is a niche, but it's a big niche. It's a viable niche. But the days of people, and I know Gersman was one of these people, prophesizing that it was going to be the future, as in the future. It was going to be the way you played games. I mean, that's not happening. It's just between the price and how cumbersome it is, the fact that one of the industry leaders is Facebook, which I want, it's really off-putting. I mean, I would love to upgrade my headset to a Quest 2 or whatever the new one they announced is. I do not feel like spending, the new one's like 1,500 quid, so I'm definitely not spending that, but I don't want to buy another Facebook device, and I've been back and forth on deleting my Facebook a lot lately, and I don't want to buy a VR headset which is super expensive that you have to have a Facebook login to get in and out of. Someone may correct me, they may have taken that out. When they bought Oculus, they said they weren't going to do that. Then they did it. Then they took it out. I'm not sure what the current status of it is, but I'm just like, I don't need another fucking expensive Facebook device. Yeah. I'm sure I'll be tempted when fucking GTA San Andreas comes out in VR. Although they announced that like a year and a half ago and nothing has been said since, so I don't know. Casual gamers will never do VR, and I think that's because it's going to be a long time before the tech can fit in very small wearables, if ever. You know what I mean? The physical space is a real thing too. I had when I lived in the apartment before I moved in with my girlfriend, me and my buddy lived together, and I trying to desperately move furniture around our boxy little city center apartment to make room for the VR was painful. And the PSVR tracking wasn't great to begin with, A VR headset is almost worth getting purely for Super Hot VR. Super Hot VR is still, I think, probably the best. The Astro VR game. If you played the Astro PS5 game and you're like, this is wonderfully charming and it's a great illustration of what the PlayStation does, that exact experience, but in VR. It's great. It's really fantastic. They show off the VR capabilities, and it's also a very charming Astro. I hope they do a proper Astro game at some stage where it's just like that character, those mechanics in a full game. That'd be really nice. I mean, there is experimentation in VR, but also I look at the trailers for the upcoming PSVR launch stuff and I go, I mean, it looks nice, but I'm like, where I see a bow and arrow game, I see an on-rails shooter, I'm sure Among Us will be there. You're doing the Resident Evil thing, which is great. Resident Evil 7 was very cool in VR. You're doing it with 8. Awesome. This is all great. This is all fantastic. I don't see people pushing a whole lot of boundaries in that as much as you would have kind of hoped. But yeah, getting kind of late here. I'll probably call it here. Everyone. Yeah, Dark Pictures VR being another roller coaster game is crazy. I mean, that's twice in a row they've got us. They've got us. They're like, and now coming from Supermassive Games, a roller coaster game. I'm like, oh, they got us with Until Dawn. They got us with Dark Pictures. Anyway, I gotta call it there. We're getting late. Everyone, thank you so much for stopping by and chatting. This has been another absolute fucking technical nightmare. Like I said, I know I'm gonna go offline, plug a cable out, plug it back in, and the sound's gonna be working. But what can you do? Whatever. The point is, I think we had a fun stream anyway. I'll stick this up on YouTube as someone might get something out of it. I'm gonna have so much fun with Rollerdrome on my own on the couch. Mark Robinson, if you're watching this, I was going to get to Card Shark. I promise. I will play it before we talk about it next week. For the old podcast, I want to play Card Shark. It was going to be a double. I had a double feature lined up. I was going to do Rollerdrome and fucking Card Shark. I didn't do fucking either of them. But anyway, yeah, I'm off next week. I'm away on my travels, but the week after that, I'll be back with the last pair of streams before the new year. And I don't know what I'm going to do. We'll figure something out. I would love to fucking get the Steam Deck thing working so we can mess with it, because it is really fucking cool. It is really cool. I want to stream it. It's fucking cool. Oh, God. The Night Comes for Us director's new action film hit Netflix Day, The Big Four. I will absolutely check that out. We were just chatting about The Night Comes for Us the other day. That's excellent. And we in this household, we just got Netflix back. I canceled my Netflix months ago because I was doing the old budget, and I said it's time for a subscription service call. And even though it's been coasting on reputation for fucking years at this stage, I took a good hard look at the Netflix spread, and I was like, I just don't need this. And it's so goddamn expensive. But we did get it back because there was a couple of things they added. So I can now watch that. Thank you for the heads up. I had no idea that was even happening. So thank you, Snowboy, for the heads up. Everyone, I will love you and I will leave you. I will talk to you all on Twitter, obviously. You know, if you're not following, at the Barry Lad. I will chat to you all over the weekend. And hopefully, not next week because I'm away. Hopefully the week after we will have a technical issue-free stream. Please, Jesus, I pray to you. I know I only do this when I have technical problems on stream, but I really mean it this time. All right. Alright guys, I will talk to you all very, very soon. And mind yourself and keep warm. It's fucking cold. Alright, bye-bye. Maybe the cold broke my Steam Deck. Oh, anyway. Bye-bye.